Hello, we're back. Episode 2, David Reid Homes TV. Now, obviously, we made it past the litmus test and we're through to episode 2, which is a good thing. So, yeah, pretty happy to be back here, back in my little room here. I don't know where you guys are. I don't know where you're watching from, but where I am, we've had some pretty good weather. So it's meant that I've been able to get out and get away from my bubble for a bit and enjoy the outdoors, which is great. Look, so episode 2, we've moved from QT in the south. We've gone up to the North Island and we've gone to Pukekohe, or Puki as the locals like to refer it as. And this week we've got Brendon Hamill from our Puki franchise. G'day, Brendon. How you doing, mate?
Good, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, look, not too bad, not too bad.
The old isolation treating you well, eh?
How's things going? You're managing to hunker down and take care of yourself, and
I take care of ourselves pretty well. The old bottle store's still open, so yeah, we're surviving.
oh yeah, that's pretty important, and pretty important for lots of people at the moment. Yeah. So getting a drink, sitting around one of your fantastic kitchens, probably a nice spot to hang while you're
sitting out watching the view and watch the world go by.
That's the way.
Still pretty busy though, mate.
Yeah, of course. Well, let's crack on and into it then. Look, this week, folks, we're going to talk about a house that Brendon and his team built in 2018 in Karaka Lakes. It's 284 square metres, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a study and 2-car garaging. It's a pretty awarded house too. It actually won the Master Builders Gold category of the year in 2018. And there it is there. And to me, that's a magnificent looking property. Just a little bit about Pukekohe itself, Brendon, to start with, just to give people an idea of what it's like to live there in the community. You've been there a while.
Oh, the community's awesome in Pukekohe. I mean, it's a well-established farming community for many years, and they've got some great little country schools around the outside edges of it, and the community itself has grown. It's a very positive place to be.
Excellent. Now, just on this particular house itself, I've done a bit of reading, and it looks like a great looking place for me. Tell me, it's a team effort for you guys. I see you've had architects, kitchen designers. Is that pretty standard with all your projects?
We hold our team pretty close to ourselves. I mean, they're good people. They know what we expect to deliver, and it does start with that architect from the beginning, right through to the cleaners at the end. Everyone's got to be on the same page from the get-go, and to create these sort of homes, they're not easy by any means, and they are very, very challenging for our team. But it's always good fun, It's not the stock standard.
Yeah, for sure. Just moving on, it's like I had a look at first. I was going through the images. The first thing I looked at was a picture of the staircase in this house. I mean, let's bring that staircase up. Whew. Just want to get that is a beautiful looking staircase. A bit of background on the staircase and what materials we used and things like that.
Well, I never wanted to do. That's the front entrance of that house as well. So I always wanted something to be, quite spectacular there, as a bit more of an piece of artwork as opposed to just a normal set of stairs rocking up to the second level. The thoughts behind it was obviously the folded steel creating its own strength to be as minimal as it possibly could be. But when you start talking to engineers and people, they all go, I don't know how you're going to make this work. Well, it's pretty logical in my mind, but it doesn't work in a computer, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of pushed on with it and got to the end of it, and the engineers signed off on it. Because
certainly a grand looking entrance. I mean, coming home to something like that, so and people entering the property are going to be, I'd go as far as to say, it's blown away. Obviously, when they move into the kitchen, I mean, we've got another picture of a kitchen here now. This kitchen is, look at that. That's a stunning indoor outdoor. It's just want to give you a couple of awards that this kitchen has won, and a bit of the materials
again, this is a critical area of a home. It's artwork. These things have got to look fantastic, and we do employ the right people to be able to create these things. I mean, the kitchen itself was designed by New Zealand's best kitchen designer. It's won many awards internationally. and they just become really masterpieces of the home. I almost don't want to use them. You know what I mean?
I certainly wouldn't want to let my kids loose in there. But I mean, it looks like, in saying that, though, it looks like somewhere that they could be let loose. Do you know what I mean? It's, you know, that indoor outdoors, like,
as well. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And just want to, you mentioned the awards. Just want to give us a bit of background on a couple of them quickly about, you know, what they were and what they meant to you and your business.
So we won the Master Builders category award winner for that home. We went through to the nationals, so it's top one within the top 100 houses of New Zealand last year. It's won international design awards in Germany, in UK. So it's a standalone piece for New Zealand's architecture, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, certainly a beautiful property house. Now, you on design, back to that design thing, it's obviously a big part of your business, and from what I can see, it's a big part of DRH across the country. You guys, like, you know, from what I can see, a lot of the houses are bespoke, and are they the type of clients you're dealing with at the moment? You know, given, when I say bespoke, you're using different materials, you're using the architect, making things look a bit different. Is that pretty standard for the way you approach your projects?
I aim to be individual each project, yes. And I think nationally our brand says that as well. The guys around the country in the brand have been well established in the brand for many of them for over 10 years, you know, and none of them do stock standard homes. We're all about individual homes, individual characters, individual sites, you know. Each site has its own challenges, and we want to get the best out of the site as a group across the country.
Yeah, I mean, just for me there, like when I look at this image we've got up here now, it's like, look at the one, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 6 houses in the background. Yeah, it's pretty obvious which one's going to stand out amongst those 6 houses just on that image alone. So, yeah, certainly making a statement in the neighbourhood.
We've got the knowledge and the skill to create epic properties, you know.
Yeah. Now, just on the materials, you know, you like using things a bit different. Just on this particular house, you want to take us through some of the things you did a bit differently from, you know, from a standard house that I might want to look to get built?
Around the garage, we created that to be a concrete structure. So it's all done out of tilt panel with a second story concrete mid-floor as well to help hold it together. We darkened the concrete, got the black oxides in there, got some texture on the outside. Just people interact with those sort of surfaces way differently to a standard weatherboard home. They actually walk up to it, they touch it, they feel it. Amazing. They love that sort of sensation that gets created with those sorts of things. And then we walk onto the cladding on the outside, the Euro tray. You know, it's a seamless, flat profile iron cladding.
And that's the iron cladding I'm seeing there in that picture with those, with the
wraps up over the roof.
Stuff. Sure.
Yeah. It's not a easy product to work with again, but it and you've got to use kit and gloves on it to kind of get it to be picture perfect. But again, it comes down to the skill level of the team who can complete these sorts of parts of the project seamlessly. They're well-trained people, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, certainly helps it make it stand out, to be a standout property. For
easy
me,
to maintain, you know. That's
I was gonna say that. Like, am I just water blasting that down once a year? I don't need to paint it every year or anything like that, do I?
No. There's a bit of wood to soften the exterior, which you'd have to maintain. And when any wood you use, you should be applying a product to that. If it's a paint, you know, you should be applying it every 5 years, realistically, to keep it looking good. And to look after that surface, although they do say have a warranty for 10 years, but if you read the fine prints, it's not really the correct thing you should be doing to keep a home looking good, you know. Where you got the wood and the concrete, then you got the iron, they're all easily maintained.
Just on Puke, back to Puke, how long for me to get to, I don't know, into Federal Street for a wine or a glass of beer? You know, is it much?
Well, I tell you, if you ask me, I say 35 minutes. You ask my wife, she'll tell you it's like 2 hours. But 35 minutes is on a good run. I can get into the middle of CBD from here.
So that's fairly reasonable.
On this day and age at the moment, I could probably do it in 15.
Yeah, for obvious reasons. I just on that, I see this house is EV ready. Is that something that you're factoring? You could be driving in for free virtually. Are you factoring that into all your builds these days?
All our builds now are becoming pre-wired for an EV unit, so the homeowners can just plug them into the wall in the garage and away they go. It's very, it's in the next 5 years I can see be 50% of the market having electric cars, if not more.
Okay, yeah. Then having that facility is going to make sense for sure. Just to wrap things up, it's been great having a yarn. Just you guys are still working. You've still got your phone, you've still got your video calls. What's the best way for people to get in touch with you guys at the moment?
Email, ring me. My number's on the website. I've always got my phone by my side. Always something to have a chat with people about. Always happy to any time of the day sit down and chew the fat about what they're thinking may be doing.
Mm-hmm. And there's certainly it's a good time to do that sort of thing. Start the ball rolling there.
Oh, very much so. I just had a person ring up the other day from Australia, wanted to come home. And I see that as being a very real thing now, where a lot of these expats are coming back to New Zealand. They just want to be home, and it's a safe country. It's been very well managed, this COVID-19, I think.
Sure,
and as a whole, 4 weeks off, I'm actually quite thinking we should extend it for another 4 weeks because it's quite nice. But
recharge the batteries, get it.
I don't think the bank are thinking that, but
yeah, but recharge the batteries. Think about some things that you probably wouldn't have had time for normally. I'm sure that's
right. And I've got my family around me. It's good fun. Brilliant. It's actually been quite pleasant.
All right. Well, hey, look, thanks for your time, Brendon, and keep up the good work. And I look forward to seeing more of those beautiful houses out there.
Thanks, us too, mate. Us too. Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Cheers, mate.